Hello everybody, I'm back with another video for you today, and it's time to look at Skellige. And I figured, since of the challenges going on where you have to play some of the new leaders, I figured Blaze of Glory would be cool to try out. Now, in theory, this leader isn't too bad. I haven't really played with it yet, and that's mostly because the other Skellige leaders kind of overshadow it. Ursine Ritual for Lippy and abusing Ceres and Redcoin, or that second win to get you a second scenario, or wait, not a second scenario, to instantly activate your scenario, or to get you a second wild boar, or whatever you need. So usually you don't see it played very much competitively, but it's not a terrible leader, and it's kind of even similar in power level to something like Blood Money and Syndicate, which sees play. So in theory this should be able to, win games, and that's going to be the objective for today. So we've got the Jutta in the deck. Now, in theory, you're going to use your leader on this to deal 12 damage. Now, often there's not going to be a unit big enough for that, but it's still potentially a big amount of damage, enabling you to deal with a lot of things, and definitely punishing decks that are going tall. And then that gets your graveyard set up for the Sigdrifa's Right, ideally then pulling out Crow Mother as well, because it's an alchemy card. So that's kind of your short round combo that in theory is very, very strong, especially against other decks that are quite strong in short rounds, like monsters maybe. You can kind of smash their Osrel with the Blaze of Glory if you have last say, and resurrect at the end, possibly. Or maybe they'll eat your Jutta and you won't get to do that. But you've also got Skal as a backup target there, so if things go awry, then it's not the end of the world. You have another target for your leader and for your Sigdrifa's Right. I did play around a little bit with having Defender in the deck, and I thought that was kind of cute, because we are running a Greatsword along with a bunch of boats. All of the ships pretty much, Corsairs as well, and Wild Boar of the Sea. Don't have Royal Decree in this deck, but we do have Matter to find it. So I think Matter's a bit better here, because you have a lot of your good cards are cards that you don't necessarily want to play with Royal Decree. You're thinking Totem, you're thinking Sigdrifa's Right, and even, some of the other cards here. So Royal Decree is not as useful as something like Matter, plus Matter extends the round length, which is very good for Wild Boar of the Sea, very good for the boats, so in theory there's a lot of synergy there. But the idea was, Greatsword you have as a cheeky little surprise card that can get you a huge amount of value towards the end of a round. You play it towards the end when the opponents use their removal, they don't really expect this guy, and then you hit them with a Wild Boar or a Morkvarg and get all that long-term value onto the Greatsword and really crush the opponent. And we've got a Freya's Blessing in there to act as another alchemy card to potentially resurrect boats and be very annoying if the opponent doesn't have enough removal, or to get a second Greatsword in some cases. So in theory the deck's pretty nice, has a very good long round, we'll be able to beat a lot of things in the long round there, and a pretty good short round as well with this Jutta combo. So that's the deck. As always guys, if you aren't already subscribed, make sure to do that so that you don't miss any of my videos, and let's just jump into the games. Okay, going to be a bit of Lippy up first. Not a matchup that we're hopeless in, for sure. Definitely good that we got the red coin, because on blue it'd be a bit of a struggle, but usually that's how Lippy goes. If they have the red coin, they're very, very powerful. With blue, still quite strong, but not as good. Okay, so what are we doing here? Well, Jutta is a pretty good card to mulligan, because obviously we want that for leader, so we can get rid of her, I think. And the hand here isn't super, we don't really need Stunning Blow, I don't think. Everything else is okay. Quite happy to see a Greatsword. We might not play in this round, but, going to be useful at some point. It's going to be quite difficult to actually win this round, I imagine. So we'll end up just playing maybe a Savage Bear, a couple of Longships, something like that, to, get a bit of value, but not really contest this. Going to be a bit too many points, I think. Blaze of Glory can really efficiently answer his Wildkarl, quite possibly, if things line up that way, so that'll be quite nice for us if it works out like that. Keep that in mind. Let's play Savage Bear now, because we won't really want this. We'll start damaging things so that we can get the Pirate Captain and stuff available. Probably will want to play Stunning Blow and him. Stunning Blow here is maybe good in a second or two. We could play it now and then play Longship, but playing Longship first will give us the opportunity to maybe kill Protector. On some level I don't even want to You know, I don't even want to play the longship because it's kind of an engine for the long round, right? It'd be kind of useful to have that later. I think I'll just play captain for now. And crate. And we'll see if he wants to keep pushing here.
Get him, Wojtek!
Looks like he will. That gives us a pretty decent target for stunning blow. I think we'll go for it now. We might get some more good stuff from him before he actually passes. That would be quite nice. We're looking at Morkvarg, thinking this card won't be particularly good later, most likely, so we could use it maybe on the Shield Maiden if it feels good to do that. But here, I mean, I'm considering playing the Greatsword into Morkvarg. I think that would give us enough points. This is basically giving us, what, 7 damage, so 12, 19 plus 4. It actually wouldn't be enough, so with that in mind, we definitely want to pass, I think. And we'll see what happens here. We're definitely going to be trying to defend the push. And the short round is very scary for the opponent. We need to kind of hope that we draw into, you know, maybe Crow Mother would be very useful if we can find that. Scal I think I might get rid of. I mean, it's not a bad card, but I kind of want to keep him in the deck just in case. Gremist honestly is pretty bad. I mean, it can deny bleeding, I suppose, from a Savage Bear or a Vitality, so I guess it's not horribly bad, not horribly bad. Sigdrief is right, we should probably keep, just because it works quite well with the leader. Honestly, this hand's pretty okay, I guess. I'd quite like to get Crow Mother, so I think I'll mulligan the longship. Okay, we do manage to draw the Matter, that's pretty good. So that'll give us either Totem or Crow Mother here. Both of which would be pretty good. We'll have to kind of see which is more valuable. So if we play the longship, it could just die to the Herald, which kind of sucks. So maybe we'll play Matter first. I think that's okay.
Do not make me beg.
Let me get Crow Mother. So we got a bit of carryover, possibly, if we're able to play that this round. I think the Greatsword is going to be quite important to get value from, but we'll see how we can kind of maneuver that. It's very good that he probably won't be aware that we've got it and that we're planning to use it. Oh, and Harold can now die to Stunning Blow, so I think I'll go for that option. It is a bit slow, it's a bit low tempo, but I think dealing with that and stopping the Harold Pals from being killed is probably a good play. Probably worthwhile here. And then we can go with Longship, and hopefully that will get some nice value.
Come here! Come get a hearty bear hug!
Don't really mind so much the Vitality. It's going to make our Morkvarg actually do something. It can be a little bit awkward here.
Honor and glory!
I could have also thought about Gremist onto that, but Gremist now seems good.
Not you again.
And then we can even get another, you know, charge decoction potentially. But we're kind of lacking our long round here, which kind of sucks. It's definitely going to be a bit of a threatening push coming in here from the opponent. I think we will just play the Crow Mother. We need to get that down at some point. And eventually he'll run out of plays that he can actually make. But yeah, we haven't really damaged his board because I haven't had too many boats and Corsairs and things for this round. Because I've been, my hand is a bit split. So that's not ideal. But, you know, not the end of the world either. I think we can probably bleed the back row here. That'll allow us to play a Greatsword on there in a turn maybe, and then get the Wild Boar value. I was thinking about maybe going front because the Morkvarg there, but there's more bodies on the back, so it's kind of close though. He's also using a lot of removal here, so I think going with the Greatsword now is smart. Just make sure we don't, you know, lose our card. Can always play that Wild Boar and get ahead, I think. At this point, he might have Decoction for Greatsword though, which would be a bit annoying. But okay, so we could also take it with Decoction here. The question is whether Wild Boar or Decoction will be better for round 3. And we can see Wild Boar getting some value. Is the Morkvarg also enough? Because that card is also kind of not doing too much in round 3, I think. So maybe we Morkvarg. How much is it onto the Knickers? It's basically a 9, so it should be enough, right? Okay, so we do still have Wild Boar, which may be a good thing, may be a bad thing. He probably won't have too many units, although the Lippy will kind of reshuffle stuff. Morkvarg, Roach and stuff will come out, so quite possibly having that will be helpful here. But it's not a very long round, so it won't get too much value. We do, however, have the Resurrect for the, for the Greatsword with the Freya, so this hand is pretty good, I guess, as good as it's going to get, really. We don't have too many ways to damage, that's the one thing I'm a bit concerned about. It might be better to get rid of Skal and have... Yeah, we'll get rid of Yutta as well, and just have something to damage things to set up Wild Boar. I think that's probably the way forward here. Let's start with the Proactive Totem. And then we'll see what happens. We have the Yutta Res, which will be really nice. Oh, and Vildkar's coming down, so we can answer that really nicely with Leader here. I think I'll go ahead and do that now, because if he then Lippies, he won't be able to Resurrect. It doesn't really matter which way we do it, I suppose. But we may as well do it now, I think. Question is whether we want to play a Greatsword first. I don't think there's any particular need to do that, really. I think we may as well just get the Yutta out. Let's do that. I mean, this is a very good play, right? Very powerful. And do we want to Resurrect now? I think probably we're fine to do that, yeah.
The goddess protect you from all evil.
Just get all our points. Alright. Obviously the Ceres is going to be a lot of points, but that being said, he already used Matter. I mean, he almost certainly has Royal Decree, right? It's more often than not thing. So we'll start damaging his units. If you use Decoction on a Longship, then we'll be able to reuse the Greatsword for a pretty good amount of value. But he might have Decoction and... yeah, he probably has Decoction in hand right now, so honestly, resurrecting Greatsword might not be worth it. It might be better to go for the Bear here. I think it probably is. So we'll do that instead.
Gods protect us.
And you know, we're actually enabling our Wild Boar quite well here with this play. It's a pretty good play, I mean, 10 points plus Wild Boar value is definitely not too shabby. Right now we're very far ahead, but of course you've got that big Ceres play which comes in. It's almost unfair. I mean, maybe it even is unfair. You could definitely argue that, I think. So we're kind of losing value on whichever card we play here. I guess it's probably better to go with Wild Boar first, because we're going to miss more value on the Decoction if we don't take it. It's a bit annoying because I would have actually liked to... I mean, maybe he doesn't even have Decoction and going for the Greatsword here would have been better. But that's, you know, it's a bit of a risky move, isn't it? Oh, okay, so he's actually going to Royal Decree the Matter. Interesting.
With me, you'll forget your sorrows.
In that case, we'll go with the Corsair next then. That's a very interesting line.
Got a bad case.
Guess figuring the 6 points isn't going to be worth what my bronze that he gives me is. So this is still very, very close, actually. I mean, we're still quite far ahead. And the Ceres comes down for a lot. Oh, the Ceres is now a Corsair. It's an interesting bug. But yeah, it's going to be quite close. I mean, we do have a fair amount of points with the last play. Not the best play ever, but we do beat some bronzes now because of the bleeding. So we'll see what he's got. Gonna be Igni, and that's actually dead, so nice. Managed to get the win there, pretty close one. We would be beating bronzes there, but obviously if he had a better gold, although, you know, something like a Morkvarg also wouldn't have done it there. Pretty close game, but we managed to take it not too badly. Alright, let's jump into the next one. Alright, and now a bit of Mystic Echo. Should be an interesting one for sure. Definitely the Greatsword can cause an awful lot of trouble for him if he doesn't, realise that I have it. And if I do end up drawing it. Let's get rid of Yutta again. I think that's just a good idea in general, because playing her out seems to be not hugely useful. I mean, it can be worth it if they have a large unit on the board, or you do. And she plays as 12, then she's quite good, but I think generally it's okay to mulligan her. Let's get rid of Captain as well, although Captain's not too bad, because it can maybe clean up, and kill a Hawker or something like that, after it's been damaged. But our hand is looking pretty nice this time round. Last game was a bit dodgy for round 1, we didn't have the carryover plays, we didn't have boats to actually fight the round. But here we have Corsairs, we have boats, we have Wild Boar, we have Crow Mother. It looks really good. We'll see what we can do with it. We've got another red coin as well, which is always appreciated. I think with this deck you'd rather have the red coin for the most part.
I spend more time passing cards than I do.
But again, I'm not sure if we'll be able to win the round, just because, we maybe don't want to commit all of our good stuff. We'll see. If we're able to win on even, then we probably will want to, but otherwise maybe not worth it. So we'll go ahead and start with Corsairs into boats. That's kind of the most efficient way to do it usually. And you care more, I think, if your longship or whatever gets moved than you do if your boat does. Like, these still get quite a bit of value even if they are moved, right? They come down at 5. Whereas this will come down at a 4 if it gets moved. So we'd rather he moves the Corsairs than the longship. Alright, so just keep the boats rolling. We want to be able to push him quite far, I think, here. Maybe even, take the Wild Boar this round to win. Because our short round is very good, so we can even think about maybe pushing him all the way to a short round with Crow Mother and Sigrifa's Right. Could be quite effective, possibly. We're dealing a great deal of damage to his board right now, so that's going to be pretty nice for us in terms of, enabling a Wild Boar in a second, if we want to go for that option. We definitely want to play the Crow Mother and maybe a Savage Bear this round as well. Just really extending it and getting quite a lot of resources from him as well.
The woods shall turn against you.
So I think next we're going to go with just Savage Bear, nothing too crazy. Actually, Crow Mother probably first is a bit better to do. A bit higher tempo, we can threaten the win on even a little bit more now. He has to be very careful because this board is about to get completely nuked by my Wild Boar. And yeah, he's actually going to pass here, which gives us a really nice Savage Bear play to take it. So, and we managed to keep our finisher. Now we don't have many ways to set this up later on. But I'm just hoping that the long round... maybe we even push here, I'm not sure. We would like to see 1 Mortars from him probably, because against 2 it's going to be a bit tricky to handle. So possibly we'll play a Totem this round 2 to push, feel it out a little bit, and maybe get Crow Mother out the graveyard as well. If we find an Alchemy card, that would be ideal. We have boats at the moment. Morkvarg would have been good onto the gnome, but it's not as useful now. Just checking all the provision costs, so I don't want to make a mistake on that. I would love an alchemy card here just to, get stuff rolling. So I think I will get rid of Longship. Gramist is useful, so maybe we'll get rid of Longship again. Just looking for the alchemy because I really would love to get Crow Mother out in 3 rounds to really maximize the value. Okay, well, not the end of the world. We can still do this kind of mini bleed if we want, or we could just go to the long round and see who has the superior engines, but I think he probably will, just because I've used a lot of my stuff already. I don't have Greatsword in my hand at the moment either. It's a bit troubling. Let's go ahead and play Totem. Just a bit of an annoying one for him to deal with. He can't really poison, he can't really do too much. Obviously, if he does go with the waters here with Forv, then that's a bit annoying, but it's actually going to be a smuggler, so we can move that with Hammond, and I think we'll trigger our Totem as well. that should be enough, I think, to get the Waters from him. It's quite expensive for us, but Waters is a really, really powerful card round 3. So I think the push here is warranted. We've got Matter, so the round 3 can be worth 9 cards effectively, right? Can be reasonably long. I think him going hit with Hawker Smuggler here instead of just immediately 4 was a bit of a mistake on his part. So we're quite happy to be able to punish that.
Yet life is eternal.
And I think now we're just going to take the pass. Before these begin to get out of control. So we'll see what we can do. We don't have too many engines left, but you know, Bear is good, Greatsword's good. We kind of want the ships that I already mulliganed away. Ermion's good. We can maybe even just control his fledglings a little bit. He already used quite a lot of the Harmony units. So if we can kind of just keep them on the low, you know, kill a lot of the Harmony guys before they actually grow, then they won't be too scary. Alright, alright. Yeah, okay. We've got kind of an awkward-ish matter at the moment. I think we'll have to get rid of a Freya, because if we draw into, you know, Ermion or whatever, then it's problematic. We can probably keep Yutta even in this particular situation, just to guarantee the Ermion. It's annoying because I don't have Greatsword, and I think that's a card that will really shine here if I have it. So maybe we can mulligan the Yutta still. Okay, another boat is also pretty reasonable. So we'll see what we gotta do here. Gonna be a Figus. Alright, so I think we can probably just start with a longship. It might get moved. Might also get killed with damage, but it is what it is. You can't really expect all of the boats to survive here, maybe only 1 or 2. Maybe it will. I think next we can probably go Gremist. Get him on the board, we'll get an extra kind of alchemy proc as well, potentially, if he wants to try poison the boat or whatever. Just deal with the defender, because that will be a bit annoying otherwise. And we could go for the immediate Blaze of Glory now, but I think we are happy to wait. So without the Greatsword here, it's going to be a bit tricky to match the fledgling points, but we can kill them possibly. So here is just going to poison the Gremist, which is kind of fine with me, not a problem. What do we want to do now? I suppose we can just go ahead and play Matter. We actually need to wait until we need to wait until Blaze of Glory to play Matter. So I think let's go Blaze of Glory now. It's not really going to find more value. I mean, it might onto Oak or something, but I think this play is fine. And now we can play our Matter, get Ermion.
This dance you will never forget.
And yeah, should be okay. This will give us a Freya, so we can revive another boat or a Corsair to really properly enable the Wild Boar of the Sea. But against Harmony, it can be just generally quite hard to actually make it, you know, find a lot of value, just because they have a lot of boosted units. So I wonder what the best way to do it is. Probably we just play the longship for now. Keep damaging. And you always want to damage things that are not at 2, because if you damage a 2 to a 1, it doesn't really make too much of a difference. Whereas, you know, if you damage a 3 to a 2, then your Wild Boar is going to deal a lot more. Going to be a lot stronger, right? So I think it's Ermion time now. The Resurrect isn't going to get much better. And I think we probably do just take another longship. These are pretty good, right? And we'll just keep damaging this Ranger down. Maybe eventually it'll die. Actually, yeah, it would be quite good to maybe... we probably don't want to kill the Willow, because he'll have Oak. And him having Oak... okay, we can kill the Treant Boar then. That's acceptable. Otherwise it will grow and be a pain, or rather it will just, you know, stick around. Alright, and I guess we can save the last shot. Although it might be better not to. Interesting one. I think it's fine to save it. We might go with the kind of early wild boar just to nuke the row a little bit, just to kill stuff. Because, you know, we're losing some value on this, for example, on this hawker staying alive. It's kind of a problem. So I think I'll just do a kind of an immediate wild boar now, actually. I think that's the best play that I have available. Because we kill a harmony unit, we kill another engine, the hawker, and we kill 2 units, which makes his oak weaker as well. So I think this is just the way forward. And we definitely are running out of points, somewhat. The Mortvag's pretty good, but it's not, you know, incredible. We do have 2 engines on our board, but I think the Barnabas is probably going to be a bit too much. We'll see. Barnabas and oak. Definitely worth a lot. If he has oak, he might not have it. We'll see. I think this one will be quite close. Because of course we also have these 2 longship points. And our Mortvag's not small at all. I think it actually rivals the oak in strength pretty much. Oh man, what a close game. Ultimately, who's the winner? Looks like we just barely miss out. And yeah, I mean, honestly, I think this matchup's probably not super great, but yeah, having the greatsword might help there. That's probably what you need to win the longish round. But, you know, pretty close game, and yeah, pretty happy with how Blaze of Glory worked. Quite a bit of decent value from that leader effect. I think there are better options for Skellige, but it's not a terrible one. That being said, thanks a lot for watching, guys. Of course, be ready for more videos, subscribe so you don't miss out on those, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.